Hi there, my name is Nina Goradia. I'm a somatic experiencing practitioner, helping people resolve trauma. I watched the movie The Sound of Freedom yesterday and really felt pulled to make this video, encouraging as many people as possible to please go see that film as soon as you can while it's still in theaters. I will leave in the description box links where you can buy tickets. If you can't afford tickets, there are people who have bought tickets in advance to pay it forward, and you can get free tickets from this site as well. So a little bit of background about this movie. It's about the absolutely tragic phenomenon of child trafficking that is growing every year. It talks about Tim Ballard, a man who has created an organization that helps to go and free these children from trafficking. The movie is beyond inspiring, as is any interview you can find about Tim Ballard online. I'll link one in the description box as well. And I only heard of Tim Ballard a couple weeks ago. I can't believe I haven't heard of him before. His work is so incredible, and the amount of inspiration I felt from just hearing of somebody following his conscience to such a degree and risking his life to save innocent children, it makes me want to share about following our life purpose and that which speaks deeply in our hearts, that which our conscience is asking us to do. And I know this topic can be extremely difficult for people to process. For me personally, when I first heard about how brutal and severe and how widely practiced child trafficking is, this was maybe 10 years ago, I knew it was there. I had no idea the level of evil, and it was what I read was beyond anything I could have even imagined was possible on the planet. And after I had read what I did, I was just depressed for 3 years straight. I mean, just depressed. And I want to share this with you all because I think that that's quite normal and common, to be so impacted by something like this that it's almost disabling for many people. And since then, I've had a lot of time to continue processing this, and especially with the somatic work, clearing the emotions, the gut-wrenching emotions, the helplessness, powerlessness, the disgust, the anger, the mind blanking that can happen as we try to wrap our heads around something like this. And I want to propose this as a normal process that we all have to go through in order to be resilient, to stand up against this. We have to process our emotions. The reason this has gone on for so long is because this is one of the hardest topics for people to face. We often can go into denial. We can often feel like it's so dark, we can't process it, we can't hold space for it. We feel like we can get sunk by it. But we have to keep stepping up to the plate, doing our personal work, processing the emotions. Of course, take breaks from being exposed to material that you cannot handle. You have to take care of yourself. But for those who are able and willing, I think that there's no such topic in the world that can unite us other than innocent children and standing up for them. I know for me personally, if I weren't to stand up for children, I don't stand for anything. And so this is just a call to not only watch the movie, but to think about how we can all start helping this cause more proactively, more deliberately, how we can get together talk about ways we can help. I'm going to reach out to the organization that Tim has created to see how I can help there. But if any of you are interested in doing something, feel free to email me. I will put my email in the description box below as well. I have some ideas, weekly praying for the children and their freedom and recovery. Tim's organization also works with many aftercare organizations after the children are released. They go to these aftercare homes where they are fed and schooled and clothed and given rehabilitation. And I also want to see how I can get involved with that and show some of these somatic emotional regulation techniques for releasing trauma from the body. It's really about time that we all have to take a stand right now while it's happening. We can't wait for other people to do it. And if we all did this, and we look at what one man has done, when you see this movie or if you watch an interview of his, it's literally outstanding. And if all of us stood up for this, this can be gone. In fact, I think it was Colombia where Tim had put all of their resources just in that one country, and it was almost eradicated because everyone was getting caught. So it takes sheer numbers of people to stand up and to do something. Tim's organization is called Operation Underground Railroad, and the website is ourrescue.org, and I'll put that in the description box below. I know many people might feel afraid to face these emotions that are coming up. It kind of hits this existential fear of like, if that can happen to others, this can happen to me. I don't feel safe, or it's hard to live in a world where this is happening. The demoralization is incredible. But as we continue to face what's coming up within us, this is how we master ourselves, become emotionally resilient, and become strong, where we can do something about it, where we can bring light to these things. It's when good people do nothing and say nothing that these things continue. So I encourage you to take care of yourselves and do what you can. But when we live for something larger than ourselves, a cause larger than ourselves for all of humanity, we can find that inspiration to speak the truth. So I encourage people to wake up, research what's going on, watch this movie, support the efforts of the people who are making a difference. And let's get together and talk about ways that we can contribute. Please let me know if you've seen the movie as well and how it impacted you. Feel free to share that in the comments below. And I hope that this brings humanity together. I hope we can put all of our differences aside in our world to come together for the benefit of children, because this is truly the most heinous thing I can ever think of. And ultimately, we all need to follow our own conscience anyway. But what I can tell you is that even though the movie was deeply disturbing to me yesterday, and I cried throughout most of it, and it's going to take me weeks probably to clear the emotions that have come up inside of me, I'm not disabled by it anymore. I've done enough of this work that I can have these emotions pass through me, so that when I hear about things like this, it's not about me. I can feel through what comes up for me, and then I can step up and say, how can I help? And if you're in that place where you're working through your stuff, healing your PTSD, your traumas, I commend you for that, and I encourage you to continue. And I know you've got the empathy for the children who are going through something that most of us can hardly imagine. At such a level of sex trafficking, what they do is they will, I'm sorry, this is so graphic and triggering, but it's the truth. They will sell these children for like 10 times a day. This is their lives. Some of them are only 5 years old. Some of them are 3 years old. And so I know this community will have empathy for this trauma. And I think the more that we're working through our own stuff, we're going to have capacity to help our brothers and sisters who are unable to help themselves right now. So let's all come together. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas below. And I'd love if you could join me as we all figure out ways that we can work together for this cause. Okay, thanks for listening, and please go see the movie. Go see the movie, buy tickets for your friends, buy them for your family, give them away for free. Do what you can if you have the means. Okay, I'll see you soon.